Welcome back to the Deep Dive from Tech Talk Central. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Sarah.
Today, we are not looking at your average, everyday laptops. No, we're going right to the top.
That's right. We're talking about the upper echelon of professional computing. Our mission is simple. If you're a power user, someone whose work demands just raw speed and rock-solid reliability, we've gone through all the source material on the two undisputed champions right now.
Yeah, we're talking about machines built for the most demanding workloads. For developers, video editors, executives who just need performance that does not quit.
Exactly. They don't just want a laptop. They need a mobile workstation. And really, the field is split into two massive ecosystems.
On one side, you've got the Apple 2025 MacBook Pro, powered by that brand new M5 chip.
And on the other, the gold standard for business, the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 Aura Edition, running the latest Intel Ultra 7.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with Apple, right? The silicon is where it all begins for them.
It is. The M5 is the absolute foundation. All the sources emphasize that it's supercharged by M5. And what that really means is this tightly controlled, super efficient system.
So we're looking at a 10-core CPU.
Right. 4 of those are for high performance, and the other 6 are for efficiency, paired with a 10-core GPU. Apple's whole advantage is just that deep optimization, hardware and software working together perfectly.
And this new generation, it feels like it's all about AI. The M5 isn't just fast, it's an AI chip.
It is. It has a neural accelerator built right into every single core. Think of it like a dedicated fast lane just for AI processes, so all that machine learning stuff happens locally and incredibly quickly.
Which is the backbone of what they're calling Apple Intelligence.
Exactly, which is described as this big personal intelligence system. It's meant to help with writing, organizing your life, all of it. But what really stands out to me, especially for the business user, is their focus on privacy.
The groundbreaking privacy protections.
Yeah, that's the phrase they use. They're making a big promise that your data stays on your device, that even Apple can't access it. And that's a huge deal when you're thinking about sensitive corporate data.
Absolutely. That digital security is just as important as the physical machine. But let's talk about the physical stuff, like the screen you're looking at all day.
Okay, so on the MacBook Pro, we have the 14.2-inch Liquid Retina XDR display. This is Apple's high-end tech. The resolution it's just massive. 3024 by 1964.
Which works out to 254 pixels per inch. It's incredibly sharp.
It is. But the numbers that really pop are the contrast and brightness. 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, and it can hit 1,600 nits of peak brightness for HDR content. It is dazzling.
And for creative professionals, that promotion technology is just as important.
Oh, for sure. The adaptive refresh rate goes all the way up to 120 Hz. If you're scrolling through code or editing video, that smoothness makes a real difference. It just feels faster.
Let's not forget the media engine. This is where Apple really targets video pros.
Yes. Hardware acceleration for all the common stuff like H.264, but also for pro formats like ProRes and critically AV1 decode. It means your high-res video just glides through the system without bogging down the CPU.
So if we look at the standard setup, it starts with 24 gigs of unified memory and a 1 terabyte SSD.
Yeah, and that 24 gig baseline is really built around the M5's efficiency. You can, of course, configure it higher, but that's a very strong starting point.
And that efficiency is what leads to their frankly, kind of unbelievable battery claim.
All-day battery life. They're saying up to 24 hours of video streaming.
Which, we'll have to come back to that number.
Yeah.
But on paper, it's the benchmark.
For connectivity, it's pretty stacked. You've got 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, MagSafe for charging.
And thank goodness, the SD card slot and a full HDMI port are there. No more dongle life.
And that HDMI port is key because it lets you drive 2 external 6K displays, or even 1 8K display. It really is a workstation in your backpack.
Okay, that's a deep look at the Apple ecosystem. Now let's pivot to the champion of the Windows world, the ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13. This is a machine with a totally different philosophy.
Completely different. It's built for the enterprise, it runs Windows 11 Pro, and it's powered by an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, which can boost up to 4.9 gigahertz.
And just like the M5, this is being marketed as an AI PC.
Right. The AI heavy lifting here is done by the integrated Intel Arc graphics. But where the ThinkPad really starts to flex is the base configuration.
The memory and storage.
Exactly. It starts with a generous 32 gigabytes of super fast LPDDR5X memory and a massive 2 terabyte Gen 5 SSD.
Okay, let's pause there because that's significant. 32 gigs of RAM out of the box is more than the Mac's 24.
It is. And for anyone running virtual machines or huge development environments, that extra capacity can be a game changer. Plus, that Gen 5 SSD is the fastest commercial standard available right now. Your apps, your files, everything just loads instantly.
And then there's the weight. This has always been the ThinkPad's calling card.
It just is. It's a feather. 2.4 pounds. That's almost a full pound lighter than the MacBook Pro. If you travel a lot, you will feel that difference every single day.
A huge difference. And it still has that legendary ThinkPad durability.
Oh, yeah. Anti-glare coating on the screen, a spill-resistant keyboard, a fingerprint reader. It's designed to survive life on the road.
So the display's a bit different from Apple's. It's a 14-inch 2.8K OLED screen.
Right. So where the Mac goes for extreme brightness, the OLED here gives you perfect deep blacks and amazing contrast. It's also coated with anti-glare and anti-smudge materials, which is perfect for an office environment.
And what about connectivity?
Well, this is where the ThinkPad really shines in the wireless department. It's got Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. For anyone who lives in the cloud, Wi-Fi 7 is the new standard. It's incredibly fast and low latency.
And they still have that classic physical privacy shutter on the camera.
A small thing, but it gives you that immediate peace of mind.
What's fascinating here is they're just two completely different approaches to what power means.
Exactly. The ThinkPad is about maxing out component speed and physical durability inside that flexible Windows ecosystem. The MacBook is about total integration, energy efficiency, and ecosystem lock-in with the M5.
All right, let's put them side by side. This is where you really have to make a choice.
And the first, most obvious win for the ThinkPad is weight. 3.4 pounds for the Mac versus 2.4 for the X1 Carbon.
That's not even a contest. If your number one priority is mobility, the ThinkPad wins, hands down.
It does, but that mobility might come at a cost. The MacBook with that integrated M5 is famous for its sustained performance, even if it is a bit heavier.
Okay, let's talk about that memory battle. 32 gigs in the ThinkPad versus 24 in the Mac.
It's a key point for developers. While Apple's unified memory is incredibly fast, if you're the kind of user who needs to run multiple virtual machines, that extra 8 gigs of sheer capacity in the ThinkPad might be the deciding factor for you.
And then there's the great battery debate. Apple claims up to 24 hours.
Which is phenomenal, but it's a best-case scenario, streaming video.
Right. What happens when you're compiling code for 3 hours straight?
Exactly. Under a really heavy, sustained load, that gap is going to shrink. The M5 still probably has the efficiency edge, but both machines are going to need a charger by the end of a very tough workday.
And the displays, XDR versus OLED.
It's a matter of preference and use case. The MacBook's XDR is brighter, probably better for outdoor use or HDR video work. The ThinkPad's OLED has those perfect blacks and anti-glare coatings, which many people prefer for indoor office work.
Then you have the ecosystem. If you're already all in on Apple with an iPhone and an iPad, the MacBook just works seamlessly with everything.
It does. But the ThinkPad running Windows 11 Pro is the standard for the corporate world. It's designed to fit into existing IT structures with no fuss.
So what does this all mean for the learner or for the buyer, really?
Well, it comes down to this. If you're a creative pro who needs that raw GPU power, the deep ecosystem integration, and the absolute longest potential battery life, the MacBook Pro is probably your best bet.
But if you're an executive or developer who lives on the road and you prioritize extreme portability, that crucial 2.4-pound weight, plus maximum base RAM and the speed of a Gen 5 SSD, then the ThinkPad X1 Carbon is the clear winner.
It's a choice between integrated graphical power versus ultimate mobility and RAM.
Which brings us to the future.
This raises an important question. In a year, will the speed of the dedicated AI acceleration matter more than the raw CPU core count?
That's a fascinating thought.
Both Apple and Intel are betting that these neural engines are the future of productivity. As software starts to rely more on local AI processing, the whole battle might shift from measuring gigahertz to measuring TOPS tera operations per second. The AI speed could become the most important spec on the sheet.
A fundamental architectural shift to think about. Well, to find the latest prices and deals on these two powerhouses, be sure to check out the links in the description below.
Thank you for diving deep with us today.
And make sure you subscribe to our channel for more deep dives. We'll catch you next time.